and he's had extraordinary success on it in the past. But honestly, it might not even be the Phoenix that's the weirdest part about this comp, because doubling up the Killjoy in the chamber is such an extraordinarily defensive-sided setup. And look at this, a hard read on the B pistol.
Yeah, just holding the flash. Victor's making sure that they've got this read, and there we go, right around the corner, into the trap that was set up prior. Sort of making a good job of things, being able to trade out a lot of these kills, but the spike is going to be dropped into the front side of the B side, and this is a difficult scenario to wiggle your way out of if you are Xset. In a 2v3. Not a lot of life on Cryo as well. He's got to try and find a lot of first shot accuracy, maybe a headshot or two. Horn. It's going to be dealt with soon enough, but it's so difficult to get past this one. To isolate the fights, and just like that, the players crumble one after the other. OpTic going to be taking the pistol round.
And what a beautiful pistol round it was. Completely reading the tendencies from Xset, despite the fact they have no tape to work off.
Yeah.
Xset have not been playing this comp. They didn't used to enjoy going for B-site pistol hits, but for whatever reason, FNS starts out with a masterful IGL read to kick us off. Stacks 3 players there with a flash to be ready for it, and despite the great trading from Xset, you just can't overwhelm that kind of a read.
Yeah, I love the stat as well. They just popped up there about these being our only 2 undefeated teams left at Champs. Last time OpTic were in a position like this, they made it all the way to the finals. That was at Berlin 2021, where they eventually ended up losing to Mech, but went on that undefeated run in the past.
And while we've just got a little bit of downtime here, with OpTic expected to clean this round up fairly easily, look at how the alarm bot and the trademark are just filling in gaps on this defense.
Yeah.
You don't really need to worry about B too much, although Victor's in that general area. You have a turret watching Garage, trademark down short so that they can double up long. This is such a good comp for defense side. I don't even want to start theory crafting the attack yet, but this is going to be a serious challenge for Xset to deal with, and not something they could have been expecting, I don't think.
Just that additional layer, that defensive utility to get through.
And this is a very slow-paced round from Xset.
Yeah.
It feels to me like they're trying to preempt a push from Victor. Back when he used to play Phoenix, Victor would get so aggressive on Phoenix, always pushing. Quite a greedy player as well. But since he's spent more time with OpTic, he's really refined his playstyle a lot, become much more of an all-round player, and not anywhere near as readable, much more playing within FNS's system. 20
seconds left, Xset, you got to get a move on, you got to make a decision now, and it looks like the decision might just be to see split. Not a lot of time on the clock. FNS is going to be ready and waiting, anchoring it down. Paranoia sent through as a rendezvous, but not a lot of time at all. Let's see if they can get that trade coming through.
One enemy remaining.
Is there quite a lot of economical damage? You can see players are going to be falling. Cryo even picking up a gun, but actually going to be falling down.
And that was an unusual round too. Extremely cautious.
Felt like they were almost poking and prodding to find out where somebody's setups are as well.
Did they?
They did a little bit of poking towards Garage.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like actually acquiring information, they know that the turret's been played in Garage, but there's been a different setup in B. You know, the alarm bot was there on that round, but prior to that, it was a stack. And OpTic just have so many ways that they can mix this up. Take a look at what they're up to on the bonus round. Alarm bot continues to be at front B, but this time Victor perhaps looking to play aggressive, or at least for the orb over on A long.
Horn taken out, fault line to push OpTic away from the angle. Not giving easy access to that orb for OpTic as well, in the deeper smoke, but it is slow. It's the name of the game right now for Xset. Xset just not making sure give away too many free kills.
And you contrast this to how they used to play on Haven with the jet and the double flash. It definitely feels much more cautious, giving a lot of respect here to this unusual composition by OpTic. And that smoke that Marv just put down in A long makes it feel like there could be anybody creeping up behind it.
Yeah, you really got to be worried about that one.
Chamber battle for the first time in this series.
Slight jiggle of the movement. Yeah, he did spot something there.
I think Cryo did as well.
Yeah. And there's so much respect being shown to either side. In fact, we're now starting to see moves being made on A long and mid. Flash to reclear here from Victor.
But as
doesn't overstep himself.
As the time ticks down here, they haven't broken alarm bot. There's still a Horn Prowler to be used. Paranoia, big tools for OpTic to stop any pushes coming through.
30 seconds left.
mean, this push might just get bogged down immediately. The Nanoswarm will get popped off. That was off of the alarm bot going down. And players have worked their way in. Zekin onto the high ground. FNS is none the wiser. It's going to be the first casualty of this one, and the Molly's just going to be going a bit wide. It's a heavy piece of utility to lay down. Aftershock as well, pushing back any sort of approach.
And in the meantime, look at Cryo's lurk. He's got his way all into C, and Ye is watching for it. He's watching for a garage lurk.
And there's a faster play even into the backside of B. They want to be trying to take the fight
They're
straight
just walking
to
next to each other.
Yep, walking right next to each other. Cryo, patience. Just holding down the one angle now. Backs away, but Xset with the better weaponry seem like they are going to be winning this one out pretty handedly. Victor, at some point in this round, managed to get his ultimate, but a quick spray down. Position is far too obvious.
I don't think he'll be too sad about using a running back in round 3, though. It feels like a decent investment to me. Just try and get them online as much as possible, funnel orbs into Victor. If you're going to play Phoenix, you need to play into the win conditions. And overall, not a terrible bonus, but Xset at least demonstrating that they were able to find a gap in the defense there. They found the alarm bot, pivoted through it. This was such a weird moment. Yeah, and Cryo just happened to walk exactly next to each other when the timing could have favored either of them. And look at this big push down mid.
Straight down mid. This is with guns in the hands of the OpTic players. Aggression, this is quite unexpected, but BCJ was watching the angle. Final bullet, do the job, straight to the cranium and backing away, making sure that Prowler did latch onto a target, so they know that there was more aggression pushed up behind that one in mid.
I can definitely tell you that that is a 2020 Victor Phoenix play. The North American Phoenix walk down mid strat has been tried many times before and repelled in similar manners. Xset now making sure that they freeze the round. Make it difficult for OpTic to grab much more information. BCJ with the Nightfall online could be a great tool to use. And FNS, in terms of like the ultimate here, it's not going to get too much value in this map overall because of that aftershock that Def can play with. So the lockdown is not a great retake ultimate. In fact, just in general, OpTic shouldn't be wanting to play retake, and it looks like they might have to again.
Yeah.
As Xset once more, for the 3rd time in 4 rounds, going towards the B site.
It's a completely free site. They got the right read on it. The early presence they were showing at least over towards A. That spray down. I mean, Marv's getting away with murder. How are you able to collect that one?
Just beautiful prediction.
They have to deal with Cryo now. Playing at the back of the side of Gong here, and he's managed to work his way behind them. They are none the wiser. Bit of spam coming down from the bottom of mid. Zekin finding the targets, and they are all blinded up. Cryo quick tap onto the spike means that he has to show a bit of patience. He has to try and lock this down, but now it's come down to a 1v1. FNS has got it. 3 kills in the round. A quick tap to try and bait the position, but Def is not going to be baited by it. And he buys his time at the right moment. And FNS is just weak enough. It's collected a nice, easy round. At least it should be. It should have been, in theory.
Overall, they're really good game plan by Xset. It comes down to the 1v1, the battle between the 2 IGLs. And while FNS landed a great blow on the pistol round, actually, Xset have been doing a great job at managing how they attack and find the holes.
Way to play, Ryan! Way to fucking play.
So that has knocked OpTic back down onto a Thrifty. The first time in this map. They're going for a gamble stack over towards the C side with only FNS around here with a Sheriff in hand. And doesn't really look like he has the tools to hold on if this was a bit pacier, but Xset have been very cautious.
Uber cautious, and there's good reason for it. They don't want to be running into the stack, to the Nightfall. They're going to get the information, only one singular player on this site. FNS already out of the picture. Plan's going to go down without a hitch.
Once again, even with the double Sentinel comp, OpTic are playing retake.
A bit unconventional. FNS does have that lockdown, but I don't think he's going to want to invest it into this round, especially when he's up on Heaven. Prowler's going to be finding at least one of the targets. How are they going to be able to get through all of this? Into Heaven, a good flash to supplement it. FNS just drops down at his feet. He's still alive in the mix of this one, but the weapons are not too good, and it's a nice spray down in the end. Aaron and BCJ so clean with the trades.
This tournament has been so much better from Aaron.
This time FNS has taken a bit of a different approach. His utility is so far back in Garage, but all eyes on Ye. Operator. Nice high ground angle, going to be peering all the way down into the bottom of mid.
Smoke goes into back garage. That is where the alarm bot was. Boombot here is trying to break the alarm bot. They don't know that it's a top garage, and FNS is forced to play with his utility.
And while all this is going on as well, Josh, there is space that is taken. Pushed up into A long. OpTic are playing aggressively now. It's Victor and Crashies together.
First time that they've tried something like this.
And do Xset have the discipline to clear this again? They have utility that they could use.
Prowler here is the main tool that you want to use in this spot, although you could try and flash peek in.
Jiggle peek. Def could overstep himself here. On the cusp, and there it is. Just swings himself out wide. A nade, Paranoia, and the Prowler, but it's a counter. Paranoia is flying straight back up the VCT! Oh my goodness. The big guy buff in action. Bit of run and gun there, giving ammunition to, well,
the phantom nerfs of the future.
Yeah, supposedly.
What a play. I mean, really good work, using all of that util to clear out the gap.
They're going to make it into a completely different direction here. With only 20 seconds remaining, it could still get very dangerous, because guess what? Yeah, he's still anchoring the side, and he's got the operator in his hand, and it has thrown a wrench into this plan. The spike is just everywhere right now, with Marv lurking his way into all of these deep angles. There's 9 seconds remaining in this round. Not enough time to try and get the spike down. And Xset's game plan, it just crumbles beneath their very eyes.
One enemy remaining.
The crowd getting behind OpTic there as well as they tie things back up 3-3. Funneling people into Yay could well be a win condition for them.
Yeah, the slower play by Xset though, that is where it backfires the most.
Certainly. I mean, after they did such a good job of clearing this out as well, you'd expect them to go forwards into A. Yep. You've taken the players on lobby, but getting a bit overthinking things perhaps.
Yeah, I would say so.
But OpTic still with a really poor economy. Look at this, a Spectre and a Judge to work with here.
It's not ideal. They're going for a bit of a haunt into the molly as well. I mean, there's not much synergy with that because Zekken just skips past it with the satchel. Disrespecting all the utility.
It's another hard read from FNS as well. He's worked his way with the Judge down into C Cubby. And the Killjoy and the Chamber utility are all piled on top of each other. Can Xset get the read on this one before falling prey to Yay once more? He's only been playing C. You'd think they'd mix up his positioning much more on the map. Especially when they can afford to with all the util at play, but he's played quite statically so far on the defense.
Yeah, and still such a cautious tale being played by Xset. Down into a minute in this round, there's been no attempt of poking really into garage, trying to remove a lot of that utility, or even to C, but now making the move over towards A.
And this
is
is
still
again
contact plays.
Yeah, and again it's an A retake setup that makes some level of sense this time though, because Def with the Rolling Thunder.
Crash is holding for a haunt lineup. Wow. Don't know where the hell that's going to land.
That is a filthy haunt lineup.
Yeah, it looks kind of disgusting in theory over the top. And it has lit up the players. Zekken still makes his mark though. Plays into the site with a showstopper and does get rewarded. It's the kill for his team. Still the spike needs to get planted here with only 25 seconds remaining. He's going to go down now. They're setting themselves up into the post-plant situation, and players now finally starting to rotate on the side of OpTic. Flash through the floor, makes them rethink their choices. But a nightfall in the hands of Crashies. Now he wants to try and move this one forwards. The weapons are still not great though. FNS is only working with the Judge. And there is no really follow-up over the nightfall.
Def has already used his aftershock though, so this lockdown's got to be respected.
No charge.
As it ticks down with 5 seconds left, the Xset players all just funneled into long.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing into the corner here. This is going to be incredibly predictable. FNS just sticking onto the defuse. Where is the follow-up? Where is the denial there? Oh, Def's going to be playing towards it. But it is half on a defuse. A perfect swing from Arin. And he plays off of it well enough.
Playing Xset, or playing OpTic, sorry, like a fiddle there. They were forced to retake with a Judge and a Guardian.
Yeah.
And utilizing their Nightfall and lockdown to no success. Wow. Brutal situation. This kill from Def.
It's a haunt to reveal all the positions as well.
Really gets everything done, and then they set up for a great post-plant wraparound play where Aaron's able to peek off short. This is looking dangerous for OpTic.
I think it's looking more than dangerous, Josh. This composition is incredibly defensive-sided.
It looks to be. We've never seen this comp before, let's be clear.
Sure.
But when you look at it on paper, it does look like it should be favored on the defense. And Victor hasn't quite been able to have those big impact rounds on the Phoenix either. He's got to run it back in his hands now, but OpTic are not normally great at these eco rounds. And they're
Again, so slow. Listen, you thought EMEA was slow. Get a whiff of this. These guys are not willing to take too many early risks. And I think the reason why is probably going to be Ye with that tour de force in his hands.
Ye has been an absolute demon this tournament. Played the first couple of rounds over on A, then was playing mostly towards C, now back at short. But in terms of his performance at this tournament so far, I mean, he's a candidate for, if the tournament ended right now, he'd be the candidate for best MVP performance of all time in Valorant.
I would agree with that.
I mean, I'll take you through those stats later on in a round where it's more applicable, I think. But for now, Xset making their way towards Garage, and maybe FNS can be the difference maker. He tried this spot with the Judge before, now only a shorty in hand. But there are two players heading his way.
When time gets low like this, there are weaknesses in the attacking approach that he executes. Sometimes you're just not going to be holding these angles as effectively, not going to be clearing it out, but no, it's watched for. Cryo locks down the one angle. Second though, pulled back there by the C's. BCJ instantly with a follow-up. But there is not a lot of time, only 11 seconds, but it doesn't look like there's anything, again, to push this back. A faster play once more. Through the smoke, Ye tries to make the most of it, but again, an instant response. That has been the game plan, honestly. It's felt like this entire tournament long for Xset. Incredibly clean fundamentals with the trading.
The trading from Xset has been marvelous. And this awareness is also fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Xset's trading's just been unbelievable. This match in general, to me, outside of the crazy curveball we've been throwing with these comps, is like star power of Ye having his best tournament ever, arguably, versus the incredible teamwork and trading of Xset. They're the best team in the tournament so far, are just helping each other avoid those useless deaths.
And so grouped up. Raw instinct on show by Zekken, just spamming down the common angles. Bit of spam as well on the opposing side, why not?
Yeah, you talk raw instincts, we nearly lost both chambers at the start.
Oh, the attempt by Victor shut down immediately. Dude, the Xset players are so ready for it.
Yeah, incredibly ready, but also full blind. That wasn't an anti-flash position as far as I'm aware. They just spammed the angle where they knew Victor would be peeking.
Face your fear!
She's just trying to make his mark here, but a Nightfall scatters it across. The attack approach, they're putting a lot of bullets in. How is the Boomot getting kills here? It is pure pandemonium across the map. Who knows what's occurring? FNS has worked his way behind them. They're trying to pincer Cryo. He's locking down the angle. He is so low though, and the spam.
Good sound bait.
They know exactly where he is. You have FNS. He saw the gun barrel. The spike has planted. Now down to that 2v2.
Shadows traveling.
Xset are trying to take the opposite side of the map, and they have planted for it. Usually, this kind of post-plant setup doesn't work because you just plant in the default spot. They're ready, aware. FNS can clear some angles with the alarm bot and the turret.
BCJ though is taking up the position inside the smoke, just up through a long. Got to suspect things now as well. The attempts being made. A C's was laid down at the feet of FNS. No audio cues in sight. And it is easy peasy for BCJ and Aaron. These guys, the supportive elements, the glue that holds Xset together.
I mean, they've just been having a world of difference compared to their Copenhagen performances. Zekken opens things up here, and you're always getting excellent stuff out of the stars, out of Zekken and Cryo, but that was the same at Copenhagen. This tournament, it's been those supportive players that have stepped up. They are the only team in the tournament with 3 players who get traded over 20% of the time. Their overall trading is so much better than everybody else, and that is Aaron, BCJ, Def. That's those guys putting that kind of performance up.
Yeah.
Working together as a unit to make sure that the sum is... The team is greater than the sum of its parts.
And they've still got that firepower behind them with Cryo and Zekken. That's the scary thing about Xset. They've already been tested many times over the course of this tournament, honestly. One of the big obstacles that was in their way was that inexperience that we talked about. You know, some young players didn't have a great performance at Copenhagen. But they've been making up for it. In fact, if there was any time that they would have crumbled, it probably would have been when they were up against Fnatic, who have been the crowd favorites. They've had that raw worked against them.
Yeah, the fact that Xset were able to deal with the crowd and beat the crowd even, you could argue. That was one of the most badass victories I've ever seen in Valorant. They just shut the crowd up completely. So earlier on, you saw Crashies getting spammed through the wall down to 1 HP. He got away with his life there. Overall, though, OpTic they keep making the wrong reads. I feel like so much of this map so far has come down to Def being able to wiggle its way through FNS.
And FNS was just handed Cryo on a plate there. Should have been an easy kill. Victor wants to go for a faster retake with a paranoia into the back of the site. And Molly over the top. He is getting a bit of value, but nobody's really clearing the back of the site still. Time is low once more. Spike needs to get planted here. Revealing that position. What a shot by Crashies, but he is just one man against the world. On 1 HP, the sheriff in his hand, and there's going to be the triple face. Xset not willing to let anything else slip out of their hands.
And just look again at how that round plays out. Xset are able to get into C.
Executes an attacking plan so far. Guns in the hands of the OpTic players. The util again sent flying for that A lobby control, but the Prowler's getting destroyed early on. Second just backs away, doesn't really want to take the fight too soon, but Victor has been spotted into this corner, has to use the wall. And you got to respect that now. The aftershock thought about remaining there for about a second.
And already this defensive setup looks better. They have a triple stack over on A, and they're going to re-clear it.
Yep, this is beautiful. Good combination of the utility, but they do shut it down still. With a run it back, Victor does get dealt with, but he is still alive at the end of the day.
That is the value you need. I don't think OpTic necessarily need to do another short re-clear, but Victor would get good value if he did. He's going to flash here off Crashy's contact.
Prowler sees it. Showstopper. Right at the feet. That's Victor dealt with handedly.
That also informs OpTic that there's still 2 players hanging around this area. But the spike with Def is heading in a different direction.
Yeah, could this be the time we see Ye get value? Timing is there. It's the 1-for-1. Yeah, he has to respect it. It's backing all the way.
And yeah, he's got the read.
It is a great read because he knows that this execute is now leaning through Garage. Players of Xset just going to be funneling their way through, and he's found the right timing once more. Operator in his hand, whips out the headhunter. Laying claim to the back of the side, but eventually he is removed.
One enemy remaining.
Mavs dealing with the repush there from ECJ. Cryo's left now into this 1v2 and a Nightfall. Is Cryo going to be caught by it? Yep, no sound cue. Still finds a shot, and the Horn's dealt with down to that 1v1, but Marved, he does deal with it in the end.
And it's a big round from OpTic. Might go some distance to recovering this half, which has otherwise been completely controlled by Xset.
Last round in the
And
half.
Bren, I've never heard that before.
The OpTic chant. Could it be because Xset have made themselves the villains against Fnatic in the past? Could it be Ye with his wholesome interview that he had recently where he said, guys, I really wish that some people would cheer for us. I don't know what it is, but at the end of the day, it feels like the crowd is on the side of OpTic. Apart from those guys.
Yeah.
They just hate NA.
So OpTic had a defensive setup that time, though,
want
where
to
both
play?
Sentinels
Let's
playing on
play.
one side of the map. Ye dodges a fault line.
Misses the shot, though. Marv's is there to pick up the pieces, but he's traded immediately again.
And it's this Xset trading. It's just wonderful right now. Cryo versus Victor over on A long.
He's contact pushing this right into the angle. I mean, Cryo's just holding it with the tour de force.
Strange way for Victor to play that rather than tucking himself into the corner.
You know what's available to him. You hear him pop the ultimate at the beginning of the round.
Bot coming back.
Xset actually look quite scattered here, though. Oh, FNS getting the read.
Seconds he spotted here, he should die. There's no world in which he gets value. Yeah, taken care of.
And with Def down, this is another lockdown that FNS can use to get huge value. This should be a 7-5 half unless Xset can pull something crazy out.
They haven't even cleared down shore yet. Have to use the Prowler for that one, and they've still got the OpTic players hiding their time and waiting it out. Spike going to be planted, but there's the lockdown, and what is going to be used to deal with this one? It's a Nightfall right across. Cryo's holding the heaven position, but you have to respect this now. What do you want to do? I'm going to run back into this one. Aaron, he was trying to work his way through mid now, and there is an opportunity for the OpTic players. Crashies knows this. Going to be forced out of the site, and now sticking the side of the defuse, but it's not being covered in Cryo. One shot after the other. The players crumble, they fall down, and 8-4 is going to be the scoreline.
DNA Chambers, how about this? Cryo coming out swinging in the opening map. 16-8.
He's putting up unbelievable numbers. The last 2 matches, including this one, have been great for this guy. Young player on the stage. But that is such a dominant half for Xset.
I don't know whether the same can be said for Phoenix, Killjoy, Chamber. Xset taking control of the tempo early with a bit of a season 8 combo in mid-window. That doesn't find too much, and Victor's just looking around as he takes a bullet between the eyes.
I mean, just absolute gormless behavior.
He's just trying to clear the close corner, but the reason Victor looks so silly doing that is because OpTic didn't actually have tools to set him up, to put him on the angle well.
You've only got the one initiator, and it's Crashies.
But also no smoke, no flash, these kind of things.
Fast play though into B now, and Ye might be able to get the angle. In fact, the shot found. He has revealed his position though, but there's a squeeze happening onto Def, and surely doesn't get away with it still. Finding the one is pretty tremendous value for them. But OpTic are in a good spot right now with this post-plan positioning. They've taken control of this one, but they are smoked off as well. They know that they were playing inside this one, just contacting into it. BCJ had to clear it, and it's flanks on flanks. This time Aaron's time to shine, I suppose, but 3 players waiting for him, and that is going to be the pistol round for OpTic.
An absolutely necessary pistol round, and one in which you get to see the prowess of Ye. With a 4K dare, puts himself up to 12 and 9 off the back of a lurk. So Victor dying just kind of sets Ye up for success. Honestly, Brent, that was their game plan when they played the Neon comps anyway.
Sure.
Victor's job is just to make space, and that's the resource that Ye uses. This could be a fabulous chamber v chamber battle. And there might be another clash happening again down C long right now.
Yeah, real opportunity, I think, for OpTic. Get some rounds into their belt, but they are going to be clashing with a flash to clear through. Aaron fully blinded up. Able to get a bit of chip damage at the end of the day onto Victor, but the sole goal, it seems, for OpTic is to try and farm up these orbs early as possible, especially when they're up against the weaker weaponry.
Cryo goes down to a long-range Bulldog shot.
Oh, yep.
And there's...
That's trying to go for that. Oh, you're just literally playing right into their hands right now, but Xset trying to swarm their way into the side. He's pulling Victor back, unable to plant.
There was definitely a moment there, wasn't there, Bren, where that looked
scary.
Yeah.
Spike planted.
It's getting scary.
But now just down to second. I'm going to get mopped up. And I think there's a lot of people, Brent, wondering, maybe not whether this match is going to define who's the best team from North America. You heard the desk talk about that, but whether or not Xset can take the next step.
Yeah.
They've gone consistently, moved up and up the ranks from top 4 in North America to representing NA in global tournaments to then beating top teams, including FPX here. And then going deep is the next step. Going deep in tournaments, making big runs, and being able to do that consistently.
It's always been the goal for this team, Xset. Long time coming for them. Sees nade into A lobby for a bit of early aggression, but it's just tempered. Baited out. There's a smoke drop down though, so it does force OpTic to use a lot of utility to try and take A lobby control. You can see them finally now rushing, taking up all that space. And now they're backing away. In the aim of the game, it seems like it's going to be that mid control.
There is a trademark here. Yeah, he's aware of it. It's Def's job to hold on. If they go through Garage, they're going to be looking down the sight line that Cryo's holding as well. And Def in a good position to get a deep fault line that would set Cryo up for kills. All of the Prowlers right now being used over towards A lobby. So they're really lacking initiator utility to get into sights.
And it's a reliance on players like FNS just to try and contact play into areas. This time OpTic throwing caution to the wind. They're just running their way in. Defto backs away. Safe play from him. Nanoswarm's now going to be dropped down, so it's pretty clear what the game plan of OpTic seems to be.
And look at how Xset responded, immediately giving up A link, expecting OpTic to fight for it, when instead OpTic are actually playing at the top of C lane.
Sure that they can bide their time. Ye wants to take point for them. One shot after the other, and all of his targets will fall. Victor ends up popping his own ultimate off. Aaron has come around the side here, but he's just one man. What can he really do? The Nanoswarm's making it a very difficult task ahead of him. OpTic taking back position as well. Good game plan overall there to convert that round.
Yeah, really nice way of maneuvering into B. But it feels like Ye's woken up.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is the big difference maker in these past couple of rounds. The pistol, and then round 15. Watch this from Ye off the back of Paranoia, but then instantly getting a trade kill. Wow. And just able to use space to take duels that are favorable and use the utility from the rest of his team. And I said that Ye was having a tournament of a life.
Making a name for himself as well. North America top chamber talent coming now in full force. This is a contact play. Xset, the weaker gun's going to be playing really close up here to A lobby. OpTic are ready for it, though. You can feel them just holding outside of the smoke. Going to be showing it a bit of respect as well.
And so far, both Prowlers in most of these rounds have been used to re-clear A lobby, even when OpTic aren't going in that direction. So this seems strange to me.
This angle that he's on right now, and just slightly missing the mark. Does a significant amount of damage. In return, wants to pick himself back up onto that angle as well. But mid-control has been gained now for OpTic, and they can start to make some plays and make some waves. Barreling through into the site, taking control of the connector.
And Xset feel like they really can't hold on in these B pushes. I know the weaponry's weak at this point too. But Xset's in another position where they've lost control of one of the connectors. And these paranoias coming through from Marv, they're just so good at setting up fights in these situations.
He's been doing a great job to bail out his teammates.
This is one of those rounds where you just send Victor to kill everyone and just see if he can get another one of the ults online.
Yeah. Pretty good understanding of how they want to manage their economy, the ultimate economy, that is. Victor 2 more points away now from the running back, and they've evened up this scoreline. We were talking about what is going to be that attack side plan for OpTic, because on paper the comp does not look like it should have many strengths at all.
But that's all theory.
Exactly. And in practice...
And we've also never seen the scrims that they've played with this kind of map, this kind of comp. OpTic will know far more than we do about how this comp works and how to get the best out of it, even if they've only practiced with it for a short period of time, just for this map. But they win the pistol, they win the bonus, and 2 anti-ecos. Now we get to the meat of the map. 8-8, rifle rounds ahead. And Xset putting so much attention towards A long to start with.
Just pushing them away, making sure they steal away the orb.
Yeah, kind of wild though, because FNS just went back to re-challenge it. Prowler's been used. Rotates good here from Xset. They're reading the hit.
Yeah, the B hit, or at least through Garage now, gives them control. They could pivot themselves into a C hit, but that smoke, the one-way setup now, that's freshly placed there by Aaron. So OpTic, still cutting noise, still waiting it out, and they are so down close. Second! The patient play!
One enemy remaining.
Comes full circle. 3 kills in the round, what a way.
Shadows traveling.
And now still locks down that one sightline, had the backup of the rest of his team, but a prime game in Flawless. It's exactly what they needed. It's one of the strengths of Xset actually, Josh, over the course of this tournament, has been when they get all the weaponry online. We're in the quote-unquote full buy rounds. I mean, they've been performing best out of every team at this event against other people with guns.
And that's an astoundingly good area to excel in, because that's the majority of the game. And OpTic crashes, you can see the reaction there. That puts this round on a very thin edge. So many ultimates to work with for both teams. Run it back, countered by a showstopper on the other side. Nightfalls to play with. And Xset started out the prior by fighting heavily over A lobby, getting information early and rotating people to stop that garage hit. This time, a smoke down A long stops Xset from figuring out whether or not there's people here.
Yeah.
They've still got 3 in this area.
Face your fear!
Well, this is quick.
Yeah, this is going to be fast off a bit of Nightfall for a Nightfall. Run it back also going to be used. But Victor's dealt with pretty quickly. BCJ still wants to fight up close and personal. But the OpTic players, again, barreling their way in. Brute force seems to be the name of the game. They've gained positioning onto the site. The fault line into the nade. Is that going to be enough to punish? No, Crashies just about steps his way into hell, back to safety. And now to play off the rest of his team. Yay holding a high ground angle. Tour de force in his hand, and it's forcing Def back. Has to rethink this. Got to be saving.
Crashies comes out with a trade. Lovely little exec from OpTic. Showcasing that they really can make burst hits work, even with the Chamber Killjoy comp. Just a huge amount of utility being burnt there, the run it back and the Nightfall. But that is going to condition Xset to really respect the site execs. I think OpTic will only be going for big things like that when they have those ults online. But part of the game plan is cycling the ults and making that work. Crash is already almost halfway to his next Nightfall.
Big ultimates online though for Xset.
And one of the big problems here is this smoke that Marvd is throwing. This one right in front of Cryo, because it's denying them A lobby control. And Cryo would love to get in front of it.
Yeah, you can't be disrespecting it though.
But exactly, it's such a bold move.
They are always holding this with guns. The angles though, it's slightly off. Cryo not holding in the close bricks position. Victor was left unaware, but still the reclear. They're just contacting in.
They just don't care at all. I mean, look at the read from Xset. Aaron and the rest of the team calling that, I mean, surely they're going to go somewhere else on the map after we pick them off. And OpTic have just walked in.
Free side.
They've walked in and robbed the house.
Forcing Xset now to play that full retake. Don't get me wrong, Xset have got good ultimates for it, but it's about how you work together off the back of them. Here we go, mid flank as well, that's coming through at the exact same time of all of this. That's FNS trying to catch the timing, rolling thunder, now to nade, and a flash! Crashes a sitting duck! The showstopper through, OpTic still dealing with this one, especially Yay! For the operator and a flick of the wrist. It's down to that 1v1, and it was the reflank by FNS. The positioning unknown for BCJ, but he's sticking it through, half on the mark, and just did not anticipate it. The IGL coming out with the goods.
What a round from FNS. From the call to just continue walking into A and utterly outplaying the defensive rotates to the lurk through mid, just a masterful round. And we have been treated to a battle here between the brains of North America. It feels like there's so much that's going into every round in terms of how they're reading into what the defense is going to do. And I'm not afraid to say I doubted this comp on the attack side, but FNS is making it work.
Yeah.
And Yay is also making it work. Great response from Cryo, though. Picks off Victor. And Cryo is definitely the danger man in this round. It's such a weak buy, but the Tour de Force could do everything.
Yeah. Honestly, right now, if you're OpTic, the game plan might just be try to find Cryo and avoid him. Deep ult there by Aaron. That's to try and get a bit of information. Didn't spot anything, but Cryo has been dealt with. One of the big sticking points in this round. The guy that could have caused the most error. And then look at the space. Yay, not afraid to immediately post himself up on a deeper angle.
Bring them down.
He's so smart with how he plays. And that Prowler has dodged Zekken. If Zekken wanted to get aggressive here, he might be able to find a timing. Perhaps expects a trademark or an alarm bot, but there's nothing there.
Yeah, with that haunt, it should start to signal that this is going to be a bit of a C-split. In theory, always potential of them making their way onto B as well. OpTic do have tremendous amounts of options, but Zekken back-to-back with Marvd. Marvd does not realize he's crossed yet, and it is all down to the timing. It's all down to the timing, and the gun is revealed. Zekken doesn't overplay his hand. Just wants to back away, and still the players of OpTic are in position now for this C push that's coming down.
That's
to
the
the
only
wire.
flash.
Only flash. Aftershock is just a little bit too late, but Dev wants to take the fight anyway. Unfavored there with the rifle in the hands of FNS, and now a lockdown just to really make the most of it. Pushing back the Xset players, making sure that they can try and play the fast retake.
That is an extremely good lockdown. Exactly as Xset was starting to get into position for the retake, it pushes them all away. And now positioning like Yay is just deadly.
The players are grouped up right now, lined up in fact to the back of the site. Yay is the only one into garage. Has to reposition, a slight whiff there of the aim. Safe hands from Yay as well, but Aaron right behind him and just a stinger in his hands. Does not expect there to be two players. In fact, you can see him pre-aiming down C long. OpTic playing that one nicely.
What a comeback this has been. Only a single...
In this momentum, OpTic have just been accruing over and over and over again. A fault line to the C's nade, that's not going to be coming up with anything. Both of these teams have been so patient with a lot of their early plays, making sure that they don't fall for any of the common traps that we've seen over and over again now when you see these fade raise compositions.
And OpTic play aggressively over on C just to get the ult orb onto Crashies. So Nightfall comes through, and Cryo's got to anticipate that somebody could be crossing into short right now, especially with that haunt. So it pulls Dev, and it pulls Zekken over towards A. And this is the way that FNS is playing with these guys, because there's nobody in short whatsoever.
Yeah.
And as these players rotate and are forced to re-clear that area of the map, FNS sends the rest of OpTic through garage to a weak area of the Haven defense.
Re-clear up through A. BCJ is holding his own Nightfall, but when is the timing to use it? A lot of bullets being found. A little bit of a jump peek there, which BCJ is going to be privy to. You can hear that, and it's a backing away from OpTic.
OpTic might have missed their mark there. They had a timing to go.
What is it going to be? Now the Nightfall comes across. A smoke to try and cut up one side at a side. Even the Horns and the Phoenix Wall. Crash is going to look for a bit of value here, but he's lurked his way up into a deeper position. But 30 seconds remaining, and it is really no concrete plan in action, but Ye has found the opening. Maybe that was what they were hunting for, but the spike is going in an opposite direction once more. Finding his way over towards C. Cryo at the back of things, and it is Crashy picking apart the defensive protocols. Down to just BCJ and Def, and with BCJ falling, just the IGL left standing for Xset. 1v4, a hard ask for him. At this point, the percentage play might just be to save the rifle. At least the operator that was gifted to his feet.
And that's tough. That's really got to stick in your throat there. OpTic winning a round with masterful macro rotations. I mean, just gorgeous gameplay from FNS and Ye, the way that they're working their way around the map, and then the way that Ye just opens up the B site but draws attention to himself as OpTic go for the repush through C. And just everything is working beautifully here for OpTic.
No, it makes me worried as well. You watch the way OpTic are playing these attack side rounds. FNS is holding onto the spike, so obviously he gets the final say of which area of the map they land on. But at times it looks like indecision. See Ye get these picks, but it's just the game plan. The slow control of the map that OpTic are able to get. They push Crashies and Ye into those four positions, and they find targets. And this is it. On the cusp now for OpTic, taking away this map when it was just looking like such a mountain to climb.
Still only a single defensive round from Xset. And we've got an Omen ult off the rip into backside.
Yeah, trying to find a bit of information possibly.
Cryo only just heard that.
Marv cancels it, but Dev is so far forwards here. And does this get cleared? The angle was just to the side, but an instantaneous trade from Victor.
Joke's over.
These trades are looking great, and they're instantly pivoting. Running back in, making space for Ye.
Get a bit of pace in the mix, why not? Straight through into the choke point, right into the connector as well.
And they're just using the Phoenix ult to set Ye up on the deepest lines possible.
Taking control of this one. It's a faster play though, and you can feel it now, the pressure starting to really apply for Victor. One after the other, Ye at the side, and it's going to be the 39, and what a way.